guys, welcome back to I Should Not Win This. And I'm living up to the name of the game because I did not win this. So I came around here, I'd conquered a lot of this land in here, and I'd even conquered, I believe, into this territory here. And then that's when, and you can totally make fun of me now because I was laughing about these slow ass planes, but they showed up. And once these guys showed up, it was over. It really was. Like I think I had 19 bombers, and I sent in like maybe 9 fighters, and then I sent in maybe 5 more. It was kind of piecemeal. But even if I'd sent them all together, I didn't have as much as this. And so one of the things I was talking about was how slow, fighters and bombers are when they're moving along. They're not being able to fly from, airbase to airbase. Well, one of the things I neglected to mention is how slow cannon are moving through enemy territory. So whenever you have to attack in to enemy territory with cannon, let's just see if we can grab this guy here. So cannon move along regular roads at 25 kilometers per hour. But in enemy territory, that's 1/3 of that. So 1/3 of that is roughly 8 kilometers per hour, which is definitely slower than a plane at 18 on the roads, right? So, you know, it is. I do enjoy thinking about it because planes are so fast, but then when you're going along the ground, they're so slow. But even slower is advancing infantry and cannon. And then, of course, infantry can move much faster than cannon, but the cannon have to be there for the attack. So you kind of have to wait. So what happened is I attacked in, and every time you attack in, you're moving on enemy territory. Once you take over that territory, you're on friendly territory until you get to the next territory, and then you're on enemy territory again until you take it, and so forth. And what ended up happening was, and it was ugly. Like he spanked my bottom. He spanked my little bottom. But I did enough damage to him where he sued for peace. And so he contacted me and he said, look, if you'll back off, I will help you to get the central oil field. And I was at that point was already ready to back off because, I've got my 2 oil fields here. I should say 1.6 or 1.7, whatever this is over here. Not a full 2, but I'm close. So I was already thinking about retreating and licking my wounds. And one of the things I know I have to do is build up a good Air Force. So that's what I've been doing here. I've got a decent little Air Force here, 21 fighters, 15 bombers. And then down here, I believe I have another 8 fighters that can join them up there and thrust in. But here's what I'm thinking. I could attack into the center here, but the center is controlled by 3 different forces. And to get there, I'd have to move through allied forces, either France or over here, Russia. And I'm even more nervous about Russia because Russia surrounds me here. This is Russia here. So what I'm thinking is maybe I'll forgo the assistance that was offered to me by Colombia over here and just let Colombia keep his, and he too is kind of like me. He's got 1.6, 1.7 oil fields. He doesn't own this whole thing. He's still missing 2 pieces. In fact, my God, he's in exactly the same situation as I am. He's got a full oil field, and then he has 2 surrounding and 1 central of the second oil field, of that second oil field. So, but what I'm thinking is that maybe I'd be better off attacking into here, into German East Africa, and taking this oil field. So I don't know what's going to happen, guys. I really don't. I know I've got a lot of troops here. This is getting silly. 770 infantry with the railguns. I don't have many tanks. Not a ton of cannon there, but just a ridiculous amount of infantry. So I'm not sure what's going to happen here. I'm just kind of what I'm doing now. Just keep you up to date here on these 3 factories. I'm building all 3 of them building bombers. Over here, all 3 of these building bombers, and then down over here, all of these building bombers and or fighters. Fighters we're already building, so it looks like I have 3 bombers, 2 fighters. So I'm about to have a nasty Air Force. Now I've got to leave some fighters behind to defend the homeland here. I don't trust Russia, never have. But I think I can make a persuasive attack into German East Africa eventually. So that's the plan. This is the game that I should not win, and I really shouldn't. But here's my peer. My peer is Colombia. Colombia has a full oil field here, which I attempted to take and could not. And then he has what 3/5 of an oil field over here. And I say 3/5 sort of tongue in cheek because I kind of consider this to be 1, 2, 3, 4, and then the center is a double, so that's 6, right? 5, 6. So I feel like he has 1, 2, 3, 4, right? 4/6. Another way to say 4/6, of course, is 2/3. So I think he has 2/3 of this oil field, just as I have 2/3 of this oil field. So he has backed off, allowed me to back off. I was able to retreat out of there with maybe, I don't know, 14 cannon and a couple hundred infantry and all my planes. So that was good. I cut my losses, but so did he. He cut his losses as well. And you can see now in the post-war era, we have shared vision. So I can see what's going on with Colombia across the board here. So I feel like that's a minor victory. Just not having him as an enemy anymore is kind of a victory. So I'm going to turn my attention down over to here and see what I can do. So that's the update. I think about how I was making fun of those planes dragging along the ground with ropes around them. And look, that was legit, right? That was a legitimate, criticism of moving planes across the ground. But when you have to, you do. That's just all you do. In fact, all the planes that I had over here had been dragged across the ground through Allied territory, through the water and over to here. So it's just part of what you do. But the planes showed up. And when they showed up, they kicked my ass, just to put it plainly. Did you see what I did there? Anyway, they killed my planes is what I'm trying to tell you. And then once a dominant air force like this has destroyed your air force, or at least, I was able to duck back with about 15 bombers out of range and then leave. I just left because look at this. 35 fighters. Do you realize how powerful that is? Let's just look at that. 35 fighters. Look at that. Attack damage air, 146. Like this Air Force could kill, 20 bombers, just probably within 1 or 2 attacks. It's ridiculous. So anyway, I wanted to catch you up on I should not win this game. I'm still should not winning this game. But I'm still kind of at the same place that I was before, which is I've got a decent situation. I have 3 factories here. Oh, I wanted to catch you up on this too. I've got a lot of money, 2.3 million silver. And so what I'm doing is I'm building up this, and this, and maybe this too. Yeah. So 4 exterior airfields, I'm building up factories there so I can start building. I'm just going to, with this kind of coin, I'm just going to start churning out a huge air force. And with that air force, this is late game. This is way late game. I'm going to go ahead and try to capture into, oh, wait a minute, German East Africa. Oh, also has Baghdad. Oh, that's ugly. Ooh, wow. Okay, we're going to have to think about this. If you have any ideas, should I attack into the center? And I've already gotten a promise for assistance to attack into Baghdad from Colombia. Colombia said they would help me. Or should I forgo that and attack a secondary over here of the same country? Oh, Germany, East Africa is definitely in the lead here. Yeah, they've got me in first place with points, but points don't mean a lot. He has this huge, Baghdad is huge. That's basically a quadruple oil here. And he's got, 5 of the 8 outer rings. So not bad. And then he's got 3 of the 4 outer rings here, and then the double in the middle. So, okay, this is my number 1 adversary at this point, German East Africa. And I say that because Colombia is my equal, I see, in just terms of production, oil fields. Colombia's my equal, but we've kind of backed off from each other. So we've got a little bit of a peace treaty going on. So now this guy, in terms of production, is my superior. He has more stuff than I do. So if he's allowed to sit on this and develop it, he's eventually going to win the game. So, all right, maybe if you want to comment, tell me, do you think I should attack Baghdad? Because I can. I can come in through either of my allies here, probably France, and attack in. I was even looking at the possibility of attacking in through railways. See, this is continuous railways. And if I wanted to, I could take my 6 railguns. That would be fun. That'd be fun to take a giant army in with 6 railguns and then just start shelling from the outside where he can't even see. That's a fun thing to do if you've never done this. You can shell people from so far away that they don't even know they're being attacked. And the only way they know they're being attacked is they notice that their numbers are going down. They click on it, and then down here somewhere it says under attack. But it's not real. It's like, it's not real obvious. It's not a klaxon that tells you that you're being attacked. You just have to kind of be observant and realize, wait a minute, I had 40 guys there. Now I have 20 guys. Why is that? And then you click on it, and it just mentions casually under attack, like you're the general of the, overall forces, and they just neglect, like nobody calls you and says, hey, guess what? This is funny because this actually happened to me in a parallel game that I'm playing right now. It's actually me against the world. If you want to look at the other stack, I think it's me against the world is what it's called. But anyway, I'm sort of perched outside of, I think it's outside of this region here, and I'm not ready to attack in yet. And what I realized was, I was like, wow, they, because you leave, you go to sleep, everyone has to sleep. You come back and you're like 40 people fewer. And one assumption you can make is that the AI made an attack out and it failed, but they took some of your guys out, right? So I thought that for a couple days, really. I was like, okay, they must have attacked out. Then finally I was like, wait a minute, like all of this is railwayed. And then I clicked on my units and it said under attack. I was like, God damn it. There's someone in there with a railgun, probably several, probably 8, and they're just nonstop, day and night, just shelling me from a distance. So that's a possibility. That's something I could do into Baghdad here. So I don't know. If you have an idea, let me know in the comments. I'd appreciate your input. Otherwise, this is basically the game I should not win. So, probably not going to win. All right, guys. Adios. See you next time.